woke to the sound of crashing waves and the distant cries of seagulls. My surroundings were unfamiliar. A dense fog clung to the air, and the taste of salt lingered on my tongue. As my senses adjusted, I realized I was on an island that seemed to exist beyond the edges of time. The fog obscured the boundaries of this desolate place, and the landscape was a tapestry of shadows and whispers. Panic surged within me as I struggled to remember how I got here. My mind was a foggy abyss, memories eluding me like ghosts in the night. For a moment, I felt like a lost soul caught in the limbo between existence and oblivion. But a more profound realization settled in. I wasn't alone. There were others on this island, 4 figures moving through the mist like phantoms. The first time I saw them, I observed from the shadows, a silent observer in a realm that defied logic. 4 college students, drawn to this enigmatic island for reasons unknown. Their laughter echoed through the stillness, and I watched them from a distance, an entity caught between the desire to understand and the instinct to remain unseen. I wasn't like them. I felt detached, as if I were a puzzle piece from another dimension forced into this foreign landscape. They were oblivious to my presence, and as the days passed, I clung to the shadows, existing on the periphery of their reality. There was something inherently different about these 4 individuals. They exuded an energy that pulsed through the air, a vibrancy that clashed with the desolation of the island. Their laughter, their camaraderie, it was a stark contrast to the haunting silence that enveloped everything else. As I observed them, a disquieting understanding settled within me. My purpose on this island was entwined with theirs. A purpose I didn't fully comprehend, but felt with an unsettling certainty. It was as if I were a pawn in a cosmic game, a puppet moved by invisible strings toward an inexorable conclusion. The nights on the island were the worst. Darkness became a canvas for the unknown, a realm where shadows whispered secrets and the line between reality and nightmare blurred. It was during those long, torturous nights that I first caught a glimpse of my true nature. In a moonlit reflection, distorted and surreal, I saw myself. But it wasn't me. It was a doppelganger, an otherworldly being wearing my form like a grotesque mask. The revelation shook me to my core. Who or what was I? What twisted reality had birthed me into this existence? I stumbled upon fragments of memories that hinted at my purpose. A cosmic contract, a debt owed to forces beyond mortal comprehension. The island, a stage for a malevolent drama, and the 4 unwitting players were my unwitting co-stars. The days stretched into an indistinguishable blur of routine. I continued to observe the 4 friends, their interactions becoming a twisted source of both solace and torment. They explored the island, their laughter carrying over the dunes and cliffs. Yet beneath the veneer of normalcy, a darkness lingered. Strange occurrences became commonplace. Whispers echoed through the wind, and the shadows took on a life of their own. The island itself seemed to pulse with an ancient malevolence, a force that reveled in the fear it instilled. The 4 friends, oblivious to the encroaching horror, pressed on with their explorations. As they delved deeper into the island's secrets, the fabric of reality began to unravel. Temporal shifts, surreal visions, and an ever-present sense of being watched. The island became a nightmare from which there was no waking. And then, one fateful night, the whispers of the shadows coalesced into a voice. My voice. It spoke of an ancient pact, a sacrifice required to satiate the insatiable hunger of the island itself. The realization struck me like a dagger to the heart. My purpose was to become the harbinger of their demise. As the entity that had once been me but was no longer crept into the collective dreams of the 4 friends, terror etched itself into their faces. Nightmares born from the darkest recesses of the mind, manifesting in a surreal dance of horror and despair. They began to unravel, their bonds fraying like threads in a cosmic tapestry. Paranoia gripped them, turning camaraderie into suspicion. The once lively laughter became strained, and the vibrancy that had defined them dimmed into a pale imitation of its former self. I watched, a silent witness to the descent into madness that I had unwittingly triggered. Guilt and horror clawed at the edges of my consciousness, but I was a puppet in the grand theater of cosmic malevolence, dancing to the strings of a force that defied comprehension. As the nights wore on, the line between my existence and theirs blurred further. I became an intruder in their nightmares, a grotesque figure that haunted the fringes of their subconscious. Each night I ventured deeper into their dreams, leaving behind the residue of fear that clung to their waking hours. The island became a labyrinth of torment, a place where reality warped and twisted into grotesque shapes. The four friends, once united in their quest for adventure, now stood on the precipice of their own undoing. The doppelganger, the puppet, manipulated their fears like a malevolent puppeteer. As the climax approached, the island itself seemed to pulse with a malevolent energy. Shadows danced in macabre glee, and the air carried a heaviness that spoke of an impending reckoning. The four friends, now fragments of their former selves, stumbled through the shifting landscape, haunted by phantoms that wore their own faces. It was during the final night, the culmination of nightmares and cosmic machinations, that the truth unfurled like a grotesque tapestry. The doppelganger, once a silent observer, now stood at the forefront of the horror it had unleashed, a mirror image that distorted the very fabric of reality, a creature born of an ancient curse. As the first light of dawn broke through the darkness, the island exhaled a sigh of relief. The cosmic forces that had bound the doppelganger to its purpose recoiled, their hunger satiated. The four friends, broken and hollow, stumbled upon the shores, their memories fragmented and sanity hanging by a tenuous thread. And I, the unwitting harbinger of their suffering, faded into the shadows. The island, shrouded in the remnants of horror, returned to a semblance of calm. But the echoes of the nightmare lingered, carried away by the whispers of the sea. I write this now as a testament to the twisted dance of fate and horror that unfolded on that forsaken island. The doppelganger, once a lost soul without a name, now drifts through the eons, a specter haunted by the memories of a cosmic malevolence that defied understanding. The island remains a scar on the fabric of reality, a place where the boundaries between nightmares and waking blur into an eternal dance of terror.